beautiful single unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. And if this is indeed the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa and I, and I would like to welcome you into the fam. So this pick a card love reading is dedicated to all of my beautiful single souls who want to know precisely what's happening in love during the month of March in 2022. And as you all know by now, each month before I publish my big general zodiac predictions, I make sure to show all of my beautiful singles out there a little extra love by providing you with monthly love readings. And in order to help you figure out exactly what's coming towards your love life during the month of March, I have prepared 4 groups that you can choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. So the 4 groups that I have prepared for you today are as follows. Group number 1 corresponds to the Affirmations Tarot as well as the Amazonite crystal. Group number 2 corresponds to the Pastel Journey Tarot deck as well as the Azurite. Group number 3 corresponds to the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck as well as the Rose Quartz. And group number 4 corresponds to the Divine Feather Messenger Oracle deck as well as the Amethyst. But the timestamps to all 4 groups can be found down below in the description box as well as pinned to the top of the comment section. So it's very simple. You select one of these 4 groups, you click your timestamp, and you'll be fast forwarded to the relevant portion of this video that contains your prediction. And just as a side note, my crystal rings and jewelry as well as the journals are linked down below in the description box as well. You can get all of these beautiful pieces shipped right to your doorstep at bowlife.com. But now I will provide you with a little moment of privacy so you can pause the video right here if you feel the need to meditate on the 4 groups for just a little longer. So hold tight as I'll speak to you again in a few moments. So by now you've hopefully been able to select one of these 4 groups in order to figure out what's coming towards your love life during the month of March. I will be starting off your readings with the first group, which corresponds to the Affirmations Tarot deck as well as the Amazonite. So if this is the group that you chose, then please continue watching. And to all of my other beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Affirmations Tarot deck in connectivity to the Amazonite crystal. Let's first do a close-up of the crystal of your choice so you can get acquainted with its energy and vibration through the screen. This is the beautiful Amazonite. I absolutely love that it just has this very calm baby blue color to it. But let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what's coming towards you during the month of March and how it's going to affect your love life. We've got the 3 of Swords, we've got the 3 of Pentacles, as well as the 2 of Pentacles. So right off the bat, we've had the number 3 show up twice for you, group number 1. Now, the number 3 is usually a very collaborative number. This is a number that shows that you're going to be doing things with other people. So that could be in a romantic sense, meeting new potential partners. But I do also see here within the 3 of Swords that you're going to find that you have to move on from a relationship that's just not working out. So if right now you're texting someone and they've been ghosting you or just not really in the relationship, know here, group number 1, that during the month of March, you're most likely going to find that you want to move on to better things, to relationships that actually fulfill you. As I see here within the 3 of Pentacles, that you want to really build something with another person, and you'll know instantly whether someone is just wasting your time or whether they're just always relying on coming back to you when it suits them rather than actually being consistently in a connection with you where you have access to them whenever you need them as well. So the 3 of Pentacles definitely shows me here that you're recognizing your worth and value, and the 3 of Swords shows me that even if it hurts, you're going to be okay with letting go of someone who doesn't see the same in you and who doesn't recognize just what it is that you need or isn't willing to give you what you need because they are maybe afraid of commitment, or they just overall don't want to be in a stable, committed relationship where they're held accountable. The 2 of Pentacles shows me that you have this great work-life love balance during the month of March, and you're feeling really strong and enthusiastic. So group 1, if it's been hard for you to get out of bed, or you've just overall felt a little bit depressed about your love life, know here that things are looking up for you during the month of March, and you're not feeling feeling so much as though you are going through a slump. You're feeling more energized and revitalized, and your love life is making you feel as though anything is possible. That is another thing that I see here within the Magician. The Magician is a card of the major arcana, which corresponds to the number 1. The number 1 is a number of initiation within numerology. As you all know, I love talking about numerology, and I have tons of numerology videos on my channel as well, so make sure you check those out if you're into numbers and you want to know more about the meanings of numbers, especially reoccurring numbers. The Magician here shows me, group number 1, that this is all about you finding your voice as well as being unafraid to use your voice. So I see here that March is a month of opening up, but also being honest about what you want and no longer allowing for people to play you or to just kind of come in and out of your life whenever they want. You're doing some choosing as well. You're no longer the one who's just sitting on the waiting bench, sitting and waiting to be chosen by another person. I can see that you're doing some serious choosing during the month of March, and you're choosing yourself, whereas the Four of Pentacles also shows me that you don't want to spend any time, money, or any bit of your mental capacity and sanity on someone who doesn't return that tenfold. But it's also important for you to know that relationships that are really worth it will have their ups and downs, and you will have to invest in a long-lasting relationship as well. But group number 1, the good news here is the fact that you're no longer allowing for other people to waste your time or your energy. The Four of Pentacles shows me that you're kind of very protective over your resources, as you can see depicted here, and you're very wary about who you allow close to your material resources as well as your mental resources, because you know that your brain space and your soul is a sacred space that only few should have access to. Only people who truly love and respect you in a way that makes you feel seen and that makes you feel valued. Next up, we've got treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply. So during the month of March, I can see that your loved ones are definitely getting a little bit of extra attention from you, and you're protective over them as well. Group number 1, I see that here with the Four of Pentacles and the treasure your loved ones card. And I also want you to understand here that sometimes being very protective over a loved one is something that can cause a bit of a rift if that loved one isn't quite ready to be protected. If you have a friend or family member who is seeing someone or in a relationship with someone who you know isn't treating them right, and you come in between, you can often end up being the bad guy and actually ostracizing that friend or that loved one because they're just not quite ready to understand the predicament, or they just don't quite want to see it or realize it. They're kind of putting the red flags under the carpet. You know, they're trying to make those red flags green, even though everyone else can see that they are in a relationship that just isn't working out. Sometimes it takes time for people who you care about to realize that themselves, and it's important that you give them that time too, while still telling them that you're nearby and close by should anything happen or should they ever need you. I can see here with taking a chance on love that it's all about loving and allowing that to change your life forever and for the better. So not being so concerned with friends and family members, what they're going through in their love life, but actually taking a chance on love yourself, group number 1. As mentioned here in the Four of Pentacles, you're kind of very protective over your time, and for good reason. I think it's definitely important for you to be protective of your time and your resources, to not spend your time with people who don't cherish it, or people who are very quick to ghost you whenever a meeting doesn't suit them. But at the same time, don't build walls so high or make the criteria so difficult that you make it near impossible for anyone to be around you, romantically speaking. So those are some messages that you're meant to receive here for March. Next up, we've got the short grays. These extraterrestrials are timid, misunderstood, and shy, and I can see that part of yourself being a concern for you when it comes to love. Group number 1, you don't want to seem unavailable, but at the same time, you can also be a little bit shy. You can also sometimes have your very timid days, and that doesn't mean that you're not interested, but a lot of people just don't get you the way that you'd like them to understand you. But I want you to know here that the right person will not always need to talk when you're in a room with them and nothing is being said. That will make them feel uncomfortable. But I see here within the grays that it's definitely a part of you that you need to come to terms with, and that you have to just be okay with the fact that not everybody is going to get you. And romantically speaking, there's only a small pool of people with whom you can really picture yourself having a long-term relationship with. In the Vesica Piscis, I can see divine feminine, birthing, fertility. Know here that fertility is definitely something that's in a good spot for you during the month of March, and that birthing is something that's happening closer to you than you think. So it could literally be a neighbor next door or a best friend who is going through this process of actually looking into fertility for birthing in order to conceive, in order to expand into a family. So I see this being energy that is around you more closely than you'd expect. And as already mentioned, it could literally be next door. Maybe you're sharing a wall with someone who is all about their fertility and kind of really focused on it. So therefore it's bleeding into your reading, as this is energy that's surrounding you. So be very wary of who you share energy with, of course, and make sure that you fully take in energy of people who you admire and of people who you feel really give you some good vibes. I can see here in loneliness that it's all about you also understanding that you're never truly alone. And it's quite interesting because my middle name, which is Somuayina, actually means that I'll never be alone. So this is a message that I feel I really need to bring to you, specifically group number 1, to remind yourself that even if you go through times of loneliness or times of feeling disconnected and misunderstood, as we spoke about here within the grays, you're never alone if only you allow for yourself to see who is there for you, if only you allow for yourself to be reminded that just because some people are always there doesn't make them any less important. Because sometimes you can feel really lonely if you haven't gained a new friend in a very long time, or you haven't made new connections, or you haven't been in a romantic relationship. So just because a family member, a parent, an amazing friend has been there for the past 10 years, try not to take them for granted, and try to remind yourself here that you're never actually alone, and that the universe is always guiding and supporting you in the ways that you need. Forgiveness shows me here that it's about you acknowledging that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. In March, there is this epiphany coming towards you that you've maybe held a bit more resentment when it comes to love than necessary. Maybe you've been super hard on a past lover or relationship and how it played out, and it's important for you to let go of any types of feelings that are actually just creating blockages in love. Perseverance shows me here that for March, you know what you can do, and you know that you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. And anyone who you're with romantically, they should be an addition to that. You should never allow yourself to be in a relationship or in a connection with someone who is holding you back from your highest potential. Group number 1, it is so important that you share energy and share your bed and your body with someone who actually believes in you, who continuously pushes you forward, pushes you to be better, pushes you to go after your dreams, and reminds you of the fact that, yeah, you are strong, you are resilient, brilliant, and you can accomplish anything you set your mind to, as have many people who have come before you. Next up, we've got the moon, which speaks of your intuition. Know here that your love life in March is going to be very intuitively led, so you're not really going to be listening to other people's opinions. What you're going to be doing is simply listening to your gut feeling, your instinct, and your heart. Whereas the star, which is so funny because these cards are right next to each other in the major arcana in tarot. The star here shows me that you know that there is hope here for you to create a love life that truly fulfills you and makes you happy, and that the best thing for you to do is simply let it flow, simply be intuitive about how you take action and what type of action that you take when it comes to love, and not to overthink it. The Five of Cups shows me that there are definitely some people here who don't truly get what you need or what you want in love, and the more you feel empowered and the more you just follow your intuition, the more those people will be low-key a little bit disappointed that they don't have control over you any longer. But this is a really, really good thing, as I see here with Perseverance, that there are surprisingly a lot of people who just want to be with another person with whom they can sulk. It's really true, the saying that misery loves a company. So know here in the Five of Cups that anyone who is looking for that type of company will be disappointed by you in March, which is a good thing in this instance, right? Because you don't want to share company with someone who just wants a buddy to be miserable with. The Eight of Cups here shows me that you have so many different options. You're of course going to go for the most high energy option that you have, romantically speaking. So I do see that when you end a relationship that isn't working out, as we spoke about in the Three of Swords, so a connection with someone who just doesn't quite understand you, doesn't quite get you, or is kind of like on and off with you, hot and cold, and it's simply not working out. The Eight of Cups shows me that you will be immediately shown a lot of other people who are options when it comes to your romantic life, who actually do want to be in a committed relationship. And the Four of Swords shows me the best thing that you can do, group one, is to just meditate on it. Don't make any hasty decisions, and don't get into a new relationship during the month of March. It is not a good month for you to commence a new serious relationship. It is definitely a month in which you are being called to have fun, to reflect, to make connections, but not to settle down just yet. The King of Cups tells me exactly what type of person that you are being called to connect with and to let into your heart. The King of Cups is someone who has strong water sign energy. Think Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancerian. They also have a bit of a masculine touch to them, so they're quite protective, and they are someone who can get in their feels, but at the same time also knows when it's important for them to just be objective and to just look at a situation from a rational viewpoint. And I want you to know here in the Nine of Wands that you're driving them a little crazy. You're making them feel a little bit on edge and antsy. So while they usually kind of know what to do with their emotions and they know how to handle themselves, you're definitely making them quite nervous during the month of March. Lastly, the Ace of Cups shows me that the month of March is a very probable month for you to start a new connection. As I already mentioned, don't solidify it yet, okay? Don't jump to getting engaged or getting married or anything like that. Don't allow for impulsivity to get the better of you, group number one, but do allow yourself to have a crush, to fall in love lightly, to have fun when it comes to your romantic life, and to be unafraid to let a new person into your life, romantically speaking, and to be open to seeing where things go without already setting your mind to a specific outcome. So group one, this is your love life prediction for the month of March. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Don't forget to check out my journals as well as tarot decks on bowlife.com. And of course, look out for your monthly horoscope, which is based on your zodiac sign, that I will be posting within the next couple days of you seeing this video. So thank you so much for being here and spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Pastel Journey Tarot deck as well as the Azurite crystal. Let's do a quick close-up of the crystal of your choice to start off so you can take in its vibration and beautiful royal energy. So why I say royal is because the Azurite was actually used in ancient times in order to create makeup or paint, as this blue pigment is super strong, and at the time that was something really rare and something that only very few had the privilege to make use of. Let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what's coming towards your love life during the month of March, group number 2, shall we? First up, we've got the Nine of Cups, we've got the Knight of Cups, very similar pronunciation, as well as the Eight of Cups. So, group number 2, let's get into it. In the Nine of Cups, we first and foremost have probably one of the most favorable cards when it comes to love. Now, let me tell you why. That's because the Nine of Cups is, so to say, the wish card. This is the card that shows that you have so many different options and possibilities. All you need to do is make a wish and push. It's most likely going to come true, just as we see here within the Nine of Cups. So know here with the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Cups that your manifestation powers when it comes to love are increased, and you're most likely going to be able to make some really fantastic advancements in your love life that you didn't expect. The Eight of Cups shows me here that you will also have to let go of certain things in your love life, and you may actually even have to let go of the Knight of Cups, if I'm honest with you, group number 2, which you know I always am on here. I like to be very honest in my readings and not just say what everyone wants to hear, even if, of course, it's not always the easiest thing. But the Knight of Cups here is someone who is not quite on the same level as you are emotionally and intellectually speaking. They are a little bit more childish. They're not quite ready for a relationship that you would be ready for. So the Eight of Cups shows me that you have to walk away from anyone who is emotionally a little too immature or unavailable for you during the month of March. Let's move further into your reading, group number 2. I'm excited to see what else we've got. In the Empress, I can see here that you're radiating very attractive energy. People are flocking towards you, romantically speaking, because you actually really get them excited. You get their motor running, and I see that you're quite the temptation for a lot of people, sensually and sexually speaking. So March is a really amazing month when it comes to how attractive that you appear to the people who you are trying to attract into your life. And I just overall definitely see a very seductive version of you that's coming to the surface. Next up, we've got Forgiveness, group 2. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Do you acknowledge that, group number 2? Because I see that this is important for the month of March for you to be able to move forward in a healthy way, in a strong manner, where you're not subject to any energy vampires or people who are emotionally not quite mature enough to be with a strong individual. I see here within fear, it's all about you realizing that you're testing your resolve to live in the energy of love, and it is completely okay to be fearful when it comes to allowing love into your life, or changes when it comes to love. Also letting go of certain people, or just being honest with yourself about the fact that not every relationship is going to work out, and not everyone who you're interested in or who is interested in you is meant to be the one. And you don't have to give anyone a chance when you can already feel that they maybe cannot quite match your vibes. You did choose the Azurite, and you intuitively choosing the Azurite and having that type of regal energy does also show me here that you need to be with a certain caliber of person in order to be happy. And that is not to put anyone down or to say anyone isn't quote unquote good enough for you. No, you're a humble person, group number 2. It's just about the fact that you need someone who is flexible, who is adventurous, who is open to change and exploring and also discovering the world together, not someone who is too fearful of that. And you letting go of people who are not quite ready or not quite at a point where they're comfortable to play that role in your life, that's okay. Don't think that you will ever be alone forever. And that's where the humor card comes into play, group number 2. Choose to focus on the lighter side of life, to have fun with things, and to also just think of the whole notion of being forever alone as something to just laugh out loud about. Smile right now, group number 2. Let the corners of your mouth go upward, move upward into a beautiful smile on your face, and remind yourself just how silly it is to be super afraid of never finding a true love with what an awesome individual that you are. It is highly unlikely that you're going to have any issues finding true love, and it is highly unlikely that you're going to be unhappy or anything likewise in the long run. But you know, we all have some fatalistic worldviews from time to time. We all have fears. That is completely normal, but don't allow yourself to rest in those fears to the point where you actually have this notion where you've mistaken your fears for reality. Next up, we've got success. I already mentioned this to you. You will be successful in your endeavors when it comes to your romantic life. Know that there is no greater goal than to love and to spread more love. And if you're already doing that, group number 2, you're already a successful human being. If you're already allowing for yourself to spread platonic love, maybe even romantic love without any expectation, you're already doing the world an amazing favor. And never stop being loving. Never stop being the type of person who focuses on the lighter side of life and who also sometimes can just have a good laugh at their fears. And that is honestly something that allows for your fears to kind of evaporate more easily and quickly than if you were to just try to work through them in a very rigid way. The 9 of Wands here shows me that that is not for you. During the month of March, it's all about being lighthearted, about having fun, working through your fears, or making shadow work something that is daunting, that is big, that seems heavy, that you have to journal about or do some sort of specific therapy sessions about. It is just not working for you in March. During the month of March, you need a more lighthearted, fun approach for any challenges that you're facing, for any obstacles in your way. As the 3 of Cups here shows me that that is what actually really fills up your cup. Having humor, having fun times, everything being lighthearted and almost like a little party. You don't need extra pressure. You don't need extra rigidity or rules within your life, group number 2. The 10 of Wands here shows me that adding ultimatums to your life during the month of March, that is really going to result in the straw that breaks the camel's back and causes too much unnecessary anxiety in your life. So steer clear of that, and also steer clear of anyone who is advising you that if you do something wrong, then your whole life is just going to be miserable or shattered. You know how there are some people who tell you that if you don't get married or you don't have children or you don't do your love life in a certain way, you're gonna regret it. That type of fatalistic worldview of someone kind of assuming that they know what you will regret and that they are for sure certain that you will regret something that you don't do that they think is right for you. Red flags, group number 2. Stay away from that type of energy. I see here that you're vulnerable to getting really hurt by that during the month of March, so don't even let that near you. Keep your lighthearted approach, and know here within the Queen of Pentacles that you have bigger fish to fry. Just as the Queen of Pentacles, this beautiful queen kangaroo clutching her earthly belongings and abundance, her big coin, that is the type of energy that we want you to be embracing, group number 2, and that we want you to fully embody. The Queen of Pentacles energy, the queen of the earthly realms, the queen of frickin' everything and that you could ever desire. As I see here within the Fool, that you don't need for anyone else to provide you with the things you've always wanted and desired. You can do do that for yourself. You're strong, you're independent, and you've got what it takes in order to create a life that you're proud of and a life that you feel fulfills everything when it comes to your health or your financial needs. Whether you want to own your own home, a luxurious vehicle, whether you want to be able to travel the world, have your own company, you name it, group number 2. But the most important thing is, of course, that you focus on your grind and not focus on other people's assumptions about love and your love life. Next up, we've got the Andromaidens. So in the Andromaidens, I can see here autonomy, I can see free will manifestation. Those are the things that you're being called to focus on, to never forget that that is the most important thing for you to lean into when it comes to love. And you can manifest a love life that you desire, but be very clear about it. That's a really important thing. Don't just manifest a relationship or a lover or someone with whom you can spend the rest of your life with. Make sure you go into detail. It has to be a healthy relationship, not a lover who has a wandering eye. Of course, someone who is loyal, someone who has all of the traits that you want. Script that, write that down in your journal. Make sure that you take note of all of the details that you know or that you can think of. I can see here within Nagas, we've got lovers, sensuality, erotica. We've got a very central part of yourself here during the month of March that is making an appearance. And in connectivity to the rest of your reading, the Fear card, the Eight of Cups, the Fool, the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like you've been afraid to embrace a part of yourself, romantically and sensually speaking, that you maybe thought was a little too over the top, or maybe you were afraid to share what you're really lusting after, what you really want, romantically speaking. Maybe there's a type of kink or quirk that you're very into that is like a fantasy to you. And I can see here that you're unafraid. There's something that's empowering you to make it known and to be able to talk to any new partners about what you really want, intimately speaking. I see here within service that you know that you're actually just doing a service to yourself and the relationship when you're being open about what you like, sensually and sexually speaking, and that really the best thing for you to do, group number 2, is be open, honest, and transparent and not feel as though anything is embarrassing, not let doubt creep in. I release the need to know all the answers, and that is one thing that I can see here that we're manifesting for you for March, releasing doubt, releasing the need to feel like you know everything ahead of time, and allowing for a little bit of spontaneity to be part of your love life as well. Last but not least, I have a little love spell for you, group number 2. Feel free to carry this love spell out for yourself. So this is the Honey Love Tonic. Boil 1 pint of spring water, place into your favorite crockery teapot a ½ ounce of any one of the following herbs: rosemary, mugwort, yarrow, or thyme. Steep for 10 minutes and strain with a non-metallic strainer. Cheesecloth is great, or try an inexpensive bamboo strainer. Sweeten with a little honey. I recommend clover honey because you can get the added benefits of clover's lucky powers. Sip this brew while relaxing. That is your Honey Love Tonic. Of course, if you do not have any honey within your diet, then feel free to use any other type of sweet substance. It could be, for example, coconut syrup. There so many different options, maple syrup. It's up to you, group number 2. But make sure that you don't miss out on sipping your homemade Honey Love Tonic during the month of March, as it will further help manifest the things we spoke about within your reading. So leave a little bee emoji down below in the comment section if you made it to this point, and if you vow to make yourself a little love tonic with the intention of creating a love life that is fun and that is filled with a more sensual side of you being embraced. Thank you for joining me in this divine time and space. Don't forget to check out my manifestation and gratitude journals, as well as all of my new jewelry and crystals. Bolife.com is linked below in the description box for you. Thank you for being here, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck in connectivity to the Rose Quartz crystal. You may be familiar with this crystal. This has the healing energies of love within it, and you may have intuitively chosen this crystal because of this lovely vibration of romantic love as well as strong friendships that are respectful. Let's move into your reading in order to figure out what's coming towards you during the month of March in the year 2022. So we've got Yang first and foremost, which is kind of phallic energy, which means masculine energy. Look at all the beautiful signs here we have under Yang. This is all about proactivity. We've got expression, doing, and forward motion. So you're definitely taking the reins into your possession. You are in charge during the month of March, and you're definitely exerting more masculine energy than usual. Next up, we've got Libra, which is a beautiful air sign. In Libra, I can see consideration, fairness, and harmony. So there's some sort of Libra that's coming into your life, but they are definitely not going to be the one leading the relationship or the connection. You're the one in charge, group number 3, and you're the one who is expressing what it is that you need, and you're the one who is saying how quickly the relationship is moving forward and also where the relationship is going. So you know exactly what you want and you're unafraid to say it out loud. And this is really amazing energy that also shows here within the rose quartz that you've truly learned to love yourself and appreciate your needs and not compromise on them. The Ace of Swords next up shows me that this is all kind of in a way also new to you. So you're learning as you're going along. It's a very learning by doing type of situation, group number 3, as you've never been as in charge as you are here during the month of March when it comes to your love life. I see here within the Judgment card that in the past you definitely would have kind of judged yourself for being so upfront, for being so direct, for not taking no for an answer or not allowing for people to be able to play you as much. And by play you, I mean people saying, oh, they need time, they're not sure if they're ready to settle down, and you giving them that time, even though you should have insisted on your needs being met just as much as other people have insisted on their needs being met, romantically speaking. But you're not judging yourself like that anymore. As you can see here within the Judgment card, this is actually a pretty positive scenario. We've got the little smiley face here on the sun. So you just illuminating the truth and illuminating the fact that you are a human being with needs and wants as well, both romantically speaking and in friendships, and that you need those needs to be met. That is a beautiful thing. That does not make you someone who is selfish. That does not mean that you are not considerate. It just simply shows that you respect and value your time enough to ensure that you're not in a situation where you're not valued. Next up, we've got the Sun. We were just talking about the Sun in the Judgment card. You saw me shuffle. We've got the number 19 in the Sun and the number 20 in Judgment. So these cards go very much hand in hand. They're just next to each other in the major arcana of the tarot, which shows that they are divinely connected, and that this is like taking one step after the other, like putting one foot before the next. The Sun shows me here that March is an amazing time for you romantically speaking, group number 3. You will find that you're simply basking in a lot of love and in this judgment-free zone, and you may be so happy that you could literally cry at times. I see that here with the Ace of Swords and Yang, because you no longer feel like you just have to march to the beat of someone else's drum. You literally feel like you're finally in a place where you feel comfortable and where you don't feel like you just have to be okay with crumbs or leftovers or whatever someone else is okay with giving you. I see within the Wheel of Fortune that there will be a little bit of an emotional up and down situation, because as mentioned, this is new to you. You're not quite sure how to handle it, and I see that here pretty evident in the Five of Swords. It's almost like you've grown this defense mechanism or this way of protecting yourself, and you're not even quite sure of your own power and strength, right? Think of, for example, a baby animal, a baby elephant or baby lion or baby porcupine that doesn't quite know its strength yet, whether that be its physical size and strength like an elephant, or how strong maybe its jaw and bite is, how vicious its bite can be if it's, for example, a lion baby, and if it's a porcupine, maybe it hasn't quite learned that if it just allows for its little spikes to flare up, that it can protect itself from predators. That's what I see here in the Five of Swords. You're not quite aware of your powers. You're not quite aware of how strong that you truly are, and your defense mechanisms and how much they can protect you. And speaking of powers, I just did a video on gift numbers. Make sure you check that out on my channel if you're interested in figuring out some of your hidden superpowers based on numerology, as that may be very interesting for you, group number 3. Next, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. I see that when it comes to your career as well as your professional life, things are looking up. I see that you have garnered a lot of respect from your peers, and people are looking at you as someone who is a great example, as someone who has accomplished a lot in a short frame of time. And furthermore, I do also see here in connectivity to the Libra that this person coming into your life with strong Libra energy within their birth chart is a very fair and harmonious type of person, to the point that they're okay with you being, for example, the breadwinner in the relationship, or the one who is more successful, or at least by society standards, seen as more successful. They are completely fine with that, because they don't derive their self-worth from their success at work or from being more successful than their romantic partner. Next up, we've got success. We were just talking about this. The cards are really speaking for themselves, group number 3. And success, I want you to know here that this is part of your love life in connectivity to the Libra and your Yang energy. You're meant to be able to embrace who you are, to embrace your strengths, and be with someone who, rather than seeing you as aggressive or too much or overbearing, rather than being with someone who sees you as those things, they see you as the queen that you are, just as we have here in the Queen of Pentacles, or the king that you are if you identify as male. The beautiful person who is a boss, who knows exactly what it is that they want and desire and will go after it. The worst thing you can really do here is to succumb to indecision, group number 3. It's important for you to use your intuition in all aspects of life, especially when it comes to love, as choosing a lover is something that only your intuition can really guide you towards, because if you start to go with your rational mind, you will most likely not be able to decide whether a person is good for you romantically speaking or not. Your intuition is really where it's at when it comes to decision making in love. The Chariot shows me here that there's a lot of movement happening romantically for you, group number 3. And I see here with the Queen of Pentacles that you will not need as much time to make decisions if you just do so intuitively when it comes to love and your life during the month of March, and you will find that everything kind of flows with ease in that way. The Knight of Swords here shows me a confirmation of the Libra. Let me tell you why, group 3. The Knight of Swords is the Knight of Air because the suit of swords corresponds to the element of air in the tarot, and the element of air that does consider and encompass Libras, Aquariuses, and also Geminis, but we had the Libra card specifically. Now we have the Knight of Swords, so we do know that this person is narrowed down to being the Knight of Swords, to having a Libra energy. And this shows me here that they are the type of person who is most likely a little younger than you, or at least mentally younger than you. You are far more mature, you're more of the old soul in the relationship, and I definitely see that this is a relationship that can be successful, that's coming into your life during the month of March. The World confirms it, group number 3. The World is basically the most favorable card of the tarot. This shows some amazing love, luck, and just really great times ahead where you're not wanting for anything and where your needs have been completely and entirely met. So do know here within the world that this is literally the best card that you could receive when it comes to love, especially for the month of March in connectivity to the rest of what we have here. So I would have ended the reading right here, but I kind of intuitively feel like we can add a little more detail. We've got express love through gifts. So this is a relationship with someone whose love language is gift giving, and we really need to stop shaming people who like to give gifts, because for some people their love language really just is giving gifts, and that doesn't mean that the other person is a gold digger or the other person is selfish or anything like that. There are simply people who like to give gifts, and I see that that is the type of person who you will be with. And slowing down, I can see here that your romantic relationship or romantic life is going to get you to pause and to take a little moment to simply be in the moment, to reflect and to enjoy love for a change. We've got true love here. We spoke about that with the Libra. We had success, the World card, the Knight of Swords, a twin flame soulmate type of relationship coming into your life in March is very likely group number 3, and it is true love. It is a once in a lifetime situation that I see here for you, so very favorable. In appreciating this moment, know that every situation is in fact an opportunity to grow and to find love. So you're most likely going to find love in a very unusual situation at a very unusual time and moment, but it's important that you be open to it and not afraid and not judge any moments during the month of March. Last but not least, we've got turn on your heart light. Reflect on a time when you experienced love. So it's going to be a very nostalgic feeling during the month of March when love is at play, when love is at hand. I see here that you're going to be reminded of a time in your life when you were loved in such a real and pure way. Not that you are comparing romantic love to love from a parent, for example, or a best friend, but you just know that the love is pure when you kind of feel that same energy from a romantic lover, where you know they're loyal, you can count on them, and they're not just with you because they want something from you, but they do truly, truly deeply care about you in a platonic sense and in a romantic sense. So group number 3, this is the reading that I received for you. I do want to add a little love spell into your reading as well, just in order for you to have something that you can physically do during the month of March. This is the Goddess Body Blessing Balm. Your body will receive much attention during your love making, so loving attention from you beforehand will consecrate the temple of your body. Take 1 cup of natural beeswax, chip it into a double broiler, and heat very slowly and gently. Add 1/4 of a cup of sesame oil and stir with a wooden spoon until the wax has melted and blended with the oil. Let it cool to skin temperature and add 8 drops of sandalwood oil, 5 drops of lemon oil, 2 drops of rose oil. Anoint yourself with the oil by dabbing a bit on your fingertip and then placing it on your heart, circling outward until your entire body is fully blessed. That is a recipe for this Goddess Body Blessing Balm. Feel free to write this in your journal, group number 3, maybe even in your gratitude and mindfulness journey journals from my website, BoLife. Either way, I hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section by leaving a little sun emoji below, so me and others can know that this is the group that you chose and that you made it all the way to the end. Thank you so much for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Divine Feather Messenger Oracle deck in connectivity to the Amethyst crystal. Let's first do a close-up of the Amethyst just so you can get acquainted with its energy and vibration. This is the beautiful Amethyst crystal. This is a stone that brings out your intuition and your psychic abilities and helps you with decision making, which may be why you felt drawn to it. You also did feel drawn to this beautiful blue feather. Let's figure out which bird that this belongs to. We've got the parrot. So group 4, in the parrot, your first message about your love life for the month of March is to let go of others' thoughts and opinions. It's time to embrace who you truly are. So allowing for yourself to let go of other people's opinions about where your love life should be headed, to allow yourself to let go of society's conditioning, whether that be a specific construct of what family is supposed to look like, or for example, when marriage should take place, if marriage should take place, the opinion of your society on children and so on. The most important thing for you to do is to ensure that your love life makes you happy, and to not try to make other people happy when it comes to your romantic existence, because if you go after people pleasing, you will most likely never be able to find the happiness that you seek, group number 4. So we have some really deep messages right off the bat for you. And next up, we've got the Oriole. In the Oriole, your next message is that a new creative venture is on the horizon. See it as a positive change, and see it as a change that will impact your love life positively as well. That's why the Oriole is showing up. So this new creative venture on the horizon is most likely going to connect you to someone new or a new situation when it comes to your love life. And next up, we've got the Cardinal. And in the Cardinal, we've got the following message: for you to stand tall and proud, to see the leadership role unfolding ahead of you, and to be unafraid to embrace your strengths. The Cardinal is a very strong bird, and it's unafraid to stand out. As you can see here, it's definitely not one of those gray or brown birds that kind of blend in. It's one that you can easily spot from a far distance, and has somehow been able to thrive and survive in this way. And I definitely see here that when it comes to your love life, the most important thing for you is to not dim your light and not dim your personality, and let go of making other people's thoughts and opinions about you and your personality a part of how you lead your life or how you lead your love life. The 7 of Cups shows me here that there are far more people interested in you romantically speaking than you maybe ever thought, group number 4. And the Queen of Cups shows me here that what they really like about you is your caring and nurturing side, and also the side of you that is very open emotionally speaking. People love to hear all about your feelings and your inner workings and your inner life. And I do see here within the Queen of Cups that you're the type of person that others can see themselves with in a long run and can see themselves settling down with. Furthermore, the Queen of Cups in connectivity to the 7 of Cups and the Cardinal shows me that a great person for you to be with romantically is a water sign who is definitely a little older, who has seen certain things in life and is unafraid to embrace you and is not insecure. So by water sign, I mean Scorpio, Pisces, as well as Cancerian. We've got the King of Cups, more water sign energy. Those same 3 signs that I mentioned to you, as the Suit of Cups in the tarot connects to the element of water, which speaks of your emotions, your inner workings, as well as your love life. The 5 of Cups here shows me that it's best for you to not be with someone who is too old, too assertive, or too stuck in their ways. That will lead to an unsuccessful relationship. I see that here in the 5 of Cups. You really thrive with someone who has strong feminine energy within them. That doesn't mean that they have to identify as female, but it just shows that you guys can connect on a deeper, more emotional level, where you're unafraid to express what's truly going on within, how you truly feel, and where you see the relationship with one another going. I see that the King of Cups might actually be a little bit too single-minded for you, that you really need someone more nurturing, as we have here in the Queen of Cups. So while the 7 of Cups does show that you have a lot of options romantically speaking, a lot of people who are interested in you, the Queen of Cups is really the one. Next up, we've got Speak the Language of Love. Oh, and just as a little side note, group 4, In the Queen of Cups, note that we are describing this person's personality, not their external appearance, okay? The Queen of Cups is simply someone with strong water sign energy who is nurturing and who is unafraid to express femininity. That could be a man as well as a woman, or someone who identifies as someone completely different. Okay, so we are not limiting here to certain genders. This is all about personality. And speaking the language of love, know here that loving words have the power to change lives, including your own, and to give loving words freely to yourself as well, group number 4. If you struggle to give loving words to yourself, you know that in March you're going to be confronted with having to finally give in and love who you are. You are divine, delightful, and deserving of the wonderful things life has to offer. Know that it is a sign that this card showed up right after we were talking about speaking the language of love, and also allowing for yourself to hear and receive the language of love, group number 4. And to simply love who you are means to fully embrace life and to breathe in that beautiful prana, baby, to allow for that sweet that sweet oxygen to hit every part of your lungs and your cells, and to feel energized, to not feel as though you need to hide. I see here in loneliness and a purpose that you're never alone, and that you have a specific purpose here on planet Earth that you're meant to fulfill and that you're meant to go after. So if you know you've always loved music or art, or you've always wanted to be a creator, even say on YouTube, go after it, group number 4. Your time is coming. And if there's someone who knows all about that, it is definitely your favorite psychic here on YouTube, because I have been on YouTube for probably over 10 years. Like, my channel has existed for over 10 years, but I only truly went for my calling when I had taken away the fear, when I had taken away allowing others' thoughts and opinions to control me, and I finally embraced who I truly was and wasn't trying to be someone or something that I'm not. So that is why I want you to know here with the parrot that the sooner you do this, the sooner you will be able to get comfortable in your niche, to actually live your purpose, and to feel so much more free and so much more like you're just being yourself. So really, the sooner you can forget about other people's opinions, the sooner you'll truly be living. I can see here within honesty that a mantra for you is that I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. And this is a really important thing to keep in mind, group number 4. Sometimes people's opinions or what people will say, those things are not even true. That is just their opinion. That is just their thought. And sometimes people will also say things that they know will slow you down or make you feel uncomfortable just because you trigger something in them that makes them feel like they're not doing well enough. So they kind of want to stifle you rather than leveling up themselves, if you get what I mean, group number 4. So they will think that slowing you down is going to put them in a better position, because seeing you win makes them kind of insecure and triggers an insecurity and uncertainty within them. So their coping mechanism is to try to slow you down or drag you down. And it's important for you to know here that you cannot always expect others to be honest or to know how to healthily cope with their triggers. Sometimes people will cope in a very unhealthy manner, or they will try to kind of bring you down in order to make themselves feel better. So you can expect of nobody to do that, because there will always be someone out there who is coping in that way, and there's also no point in shaming those people. But what you can expect from yourself is to be honest with yourself about whether another person's opinion truly matters, whether it should be influencing your life, or whether maybe someone else's opinion about your love life and what you're doing in general is only hitting a nerve because somewhere deep down you feel undeserving, or you feel like they're right, or you're still dealing with untangling some social conditioning that you have picked up growing up as a child or as an adult. So sometimes when things really hurt or when things really trigger you, it's not actually so much the thing that is being said or the person who's saying it, it's more the fact that you actually, or a small part of you, thinks that there may be some truth and it's something that needs to be worked through, group number 4. Next up, we've got the element of fire. We've got warrior energy, we've got passion and fearlessness. I see here in the element of fire that having this as part of your love life for the month of March shows that while there is a lot of emotionality, there's also a lot of fun that's coming towards you. We've got the Lyrans, strength, courage, and bravery. These types of extraterrestrials are the types that bring a lot more confidence to you, which is exactly what you need. So channel your inner Lyran, channel the bravery, the courage to do whatever you want, regardless of what it looks like on the surface. And we've got the Galactic Federation, which is all about collaboration, meetings, and community. Keep in mind, group number 4, that just because you won't succumb to societal pressures doesn't mean that you cannot be a part of society. That doesn't mean that people are not going to accept you. It's just all about graciously bowing out from succumbing to society's pressures on your love life, but allowing for others to know that if there's anything else that you can be of help with, whether that is a project on equality in the workplace, you name it, you're there and you want to support that part of the community. You want to support that part of your surrounding, but what you definitely want to keep private is what you're doing in your love life, who you're choosing to love and be with. Like attracts like shows me here that if you long for more love, be more loving, group number 4. I see that your love life could definitely use a little bit more openness from you, a little bit more love, a little bit more fearlessness, as we spoke about within the element of fire, as well as the Lyrans. And back to what you love shows me that reevaluating your desires can really help you with that. Somehow along the way to adulthood, or just being older with every single day, I kind of feel like we all get further removed from our roots or back to our primal desires, which is to simply be loved and accepted. And sometimes we can make it very complicated for ourselves. We can feel like the entire world is stacked against us. Meanwhile, all we need to do is express what we want and move towards what we want fearlessly. And accomplishing the results that we desire is often a lot more easily done than we're truly aware of, group number 4. Like, for example, simply opening up romantically to a new person, giving a new relationship a chance. It can seem as though getting into a new relationship is a hassle and you might get hurt and things may go wrong, but if you are simply open to it, everything may also just go right and smoothly, and you may find yourself in a beautiful relationship that truly makes you happy and that truly lights you up from within, as I can see here within the Empress, that you're ready for that, and that you're definitely looked at by others as someone who is attractive and someone who has a lot of great qualities to offer, romantically speaking. So during the month of March, there are some people that are flirting with you. There are definitely some people who want to get to know you on a deeper level, and the Fool here shows me that these are people who you do not know yet. These are people who are not yet in your life, who you're unaware of, who are going to try to enter into your life during the month of March. And last but not least, we've got the 3 of Pentacles. These are people who you're going to connect with through having the same hobbies and interests or the same job, group number 4. And as already mentioned in the 7 of Cups, you've got many options, so you're most likely going to meet more than one potential romantic interest, and it's going to be a month of fun and a month of also reminding yourself of the fact that, hey, you've still got it, you are attractive, and you are worthy of love. So group 4, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section by leaving a bird emoji down below. Furthermore, don't forget to check out the new gratitude and mindfulness journey journals that I just published and released on my site, bowlife.com. Thank you so much for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions.